What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel, man. Salute. So, shout outs to everybody who's checking out I still call it the new channel because it's still roughly new, man. Just the tip, J-U-S-T, not T-H-E, but D-A, Delta Alpha. So just the tip. Check it out. Link will be in the description. And come over there and wild out with me and Queen, man. We just be kicking it. That's it. We just be kicking it. So, but the next video though, 15 times cameras was at hand at the right moment. You ever I had one of those moments today, man. My dog, bro, he heard somebody outside the door and got all upset and mad. He gonna climb up in my windowsill and put his paws in, because we had the window cracked open. He gonna jump up there, put his paws up and bark outside. Like literally, bro. Like, I'm gonna post that video on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, run and go follow me. I'm gonna show y'all what he looked like, fam. With his paws up on my windowsill barking outside. Crazy, crazy. But yeah, man, that's one of them. I had a camera on hand at the right moment. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, join the fam. Real quick moment of silence for the haters. That's enough. Now run the lights up. Let's get to the video.
Individuals who always has to have their camera out and ready. Are you camera ready 100% of the time? Well, a big thanks to you for your efforts. If you weren't filming, you wouldn't have incredible moments like these. Whether it's unbelievable sights captured at home, like a cat keeping rhythm on a toilet
That scares me now.
seat, or a seemingly impossible feat like balancing on a champagne bottle. What about flying through Dubai on a magic carpet? We've got all that and more on today's list. 15 times camera was at hand at the right moment.
Okay, break it down.
Number 15. Drumming cat. With enticing toilet paper hanging on the wall, it can be difficult to discourage your cat from playing in the bathroom when you're not at home. Stopping your kitty from playing drums on the toilet and filming it, even singing along, that's just a whole other thing altogether. Those with cats can often complain that their felines are always getting into the bathroom toilet paper roll or exhibiting other behaviors that ought to be off limits, like drinking from the toilet. But this cat seems to be encouraged to march to the beat of his own
He focused though.
drum. If the water in the toilet is genuinely fresh, some cats may like drinking from it. This cat is super fresh for other reasons. This is difficult for a human to believe, but consider it from the perspective of a pet. The water in the ordinary water bowl may have gone stale. So this cat had to let the owner know, I'm thirsty and it's time for you to lift the toilet seat for me. Meow. Due to recent flushing, the water in the toilet may contain more oxygen and therefore taste much fresher. And if this cat wants it, he's gonna get it. And it doesn't care who knows based on that steady tempo from the pretty flawless drumming. Now, let's get ready for today's open discussion. Another example of nature getting a little too close, this bison appears to have an unrecognizable face. Is that a mouthful of fangs we're seeing too? One thing's for sure, you do not want to see this coming towards you on a dark highway at night. If a bison that typically can weigh around 1,600 pounds charges you successfully, you might not be around to describe what happened later. This image is another object lesson on how wildlife versus people encounters can go wrong really fast. The bison, shaggy behemoth of the Great Plains, despite weighing as much as a ton, can race up to 40 miles an hour, jump up to 6 feet vertically, and can quickly pivot to combat predators. Maybe this bison just doesn't like the way these people drive. It's bison territory at the end of the day. But is this thing even a normal bison? Let us know what you think in the comments below using the hashtag #OpenDiscussion. You want to know a little secret? If you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, you'll have superpowers for the rest of your life. So what are you waiting for? Time to fly. Number 14. Water slide hack. This footage was recorded at the Aquavilas water park in Spain. In the video, the biker can be seen riding around the perimeter of the park and scouting out the big slides inside. And when the coast was clear, the adventurous biker showed off his skills by riding down slides and doing tricks on his BMX after he sneaked into the empty water park. The man throws his bike over the fence before scaling it himself and pushing the bike towards the tall red slide. He climbs several flights of stairs and peers over the edge, anticipating the ride. Seconds after pushing off down the slide, the biker spins his handlebars effortlessly and appears to flip into another slide next to the red one. Next, he takes on a big blue slide and starts by riding along the edge before gliding through the curves. Luckily, the biker keeps control and manages to stop his bike before it falls into the water pool waiting at the bottom. He then heads towards an empty pool but falls as he jumps into it. Quickly getting back up, the biker rides along the edge and spins his handlebars again as he flips in the air. After his last trick, he rides towards the exit. Deciding to check it out again, the man goes back in, and why not? Number 13. Breakdancing gorilla.
Let's go.
Life in captivity must get pretty boring, but not for this furry fella. This gorilla made the most of his situation by using his downtime to learn a new unexpected skill. In a clip posted by the Dallas Zoo, Zola, the silverback gorilla, can be seen showing off his impressive breakdancing skills as he plays in a pool of water. After spending a few seconds splashing about in the water with his hands, the gorilla breaks out his
That's how some of y'all be in the shower at night. Look at there. Get out, there's a ton of water all over the floor. You gotta put towels down. This is how some of y'all be in the shower.
After spending a few seconds splashing about in the water with his hands, the gorilla breaks out his signature move, executing a perfect quadruple spin. And the crowd goes wild. The clip went viral, receiving millions of views and thousands of admiring comments. Not gonna lie, that spin was smooth, one person said, with another writing, "Bro, save some moves for the rest of us." Gorillas are gentle giants and display many human-like behaviors and emotions, such as laughter and sadness. In fact, gorillas share 98.3% of their genetic
You about to make me dizzy. Chill, bro.
code with humans, making them our closest cousins after chimpanzees and bonobos. However, not everyone was as impressed, and some people had a more negative take on the gorilla's playtime. But the Dallas Zoo has since responded to the concerns about Zola's well-being, reassuring everyone that the wet room was part of a large indoor space that connects to an even bigger, naturalistic outdoor space. So, in other words, lots of space to breakdance. Number 12. Barefoot water ski. Barefoot skiing is water skiing behind a motorboat without the use of water skis, commonly referred to as barefooting. It requires the skier to travel at higher speeds, 30 to 45 miles per hour, more so than conventional water skiing. The barefoot sport originated in Winter Haven, Florida. According to the Water Ski Hall of Fame and witnesses of the event, 17-year-old A.G. Hancock became the first person ever to barefoot water ski in 1947. That same year, Richard Downing Dick Pope Jr. was the first person ever to be photographed barefooting, stepping out of his skis on a training boom alongside the boat.
I can't lie, it make it look fun, but I feel like me, I do something like that and he gonna be dragging me on my face. Foot gonna get stuck in a little triangle. It's just gonna be dragging me. I'm gonna get up, half the skin off my face is go like I ain't gonna lie, but it looked fun though.
In 1950, the first barefoot competition was held. The first woman to water ski barefoot was Charlene Zent in 1951. The early 1960s saw Don Thompson appear as the first superstar of the sport, developing both back-to-front and front-to-back turnarounds and performing the first barefoot tandem ride in a show. And during this time, barefooting began developing in Australia as well. In April 1963, the first national competition was held in Australia with 38 competitors. As for these barefoot water skiers, it's clear the tradition stuck. Their skills are out of this world. Number 11. Stick hitchhiker. Stick insects are sometimes called phantoms of the forest. They belong to an insect order called Phasmatodea. This name comes from the Greek phasm, meaning phantom, and one of the meanings of the word phantom is hidden from view. However, the stick bug couldn't hide, and this one was spotted on the outside of a car windscreen while traveling at 50 miles an hour. It was just a tiny little thing too, so it had probably emerged from an egg just a few days earlier. The adult female of one species can reach up to about a foot and is our longest insect in the world. They have several defense behaviors that enable them to escape detection. When disturbed, they can fall from where they were on a branch, drop down until they're caught on lower foliage, and then play dead. When they're hiding among foliage and the wind blow them, sway in tune with nearby leaves and twigs. They not only look like sticks, but they also act like them as well. Should a bird capture a stick insect by getting hold of a leg, the stick insect can use a special muscle to break the leg off and make its escape. All the bird gets is the leg. Stick insects can grow another one. As for this hitchhiker, it was rescued and transferred to the forest nearby. Number 10. Apple juggling. Juggling whiz David Rush takes the most popular juggling trick in the book and makes it Guinness World Record worthy. The previous record of 151 bites taken out of 3 apples in 1 minute was smashed at the Boston Juggling Festival recently, and the apple juggling legacy continues. To juggle 1 or more apples and take bites from the fruit while doing so was one of the most famous tricks in the juggling world. The use of apples as juggling props is very, very old. The first known reference to apples being used for juggling dates from the 5th century.
Yo, my trip, or I wonder, do they ever do that in the mirror and see what they look like? Because they be laughing too, bro.
AD. There's perhaps no juggling routine more attempted by jugglers and more loved by audiences than the eat the apple trick. The first known person to eat the apple while juggling was Charles Carson, who did so starting in the 1910s. It's been estimated that he ate around 60,000 apples on stage during his career. If you've gotten pretty good at juggling and you're looking for a show-stopping trick, then here's the next one for you. Despite its simplicity, this trick is considered by many members of the public to be among the most difficult juggling feats imaginable. Short of chainsaws or flaming bowling balls, of course. This trick is detested by most professional jugglers for precisely that reason. Number 9.
Wow.
Catalonia's human castles.
No!
These human towers represent solidarity and team spirit. The experience of watching it is quite breathtaking.
I don't have that much trust in people like that, bro. Like, you gotta really trust everybody below you. No.
During cultural festivals, a big group of people, dressed in light, mostly white trousers and shirts, gather on a square that's full of spectators.
No.
To the sound of traditional flutes and the drums that seem to accompany almost every Catalan culture event, a group of the heavier members of the team forms a circle. All around, other members are supporting them from behind. They're the foundation of the human castle. Now athletic women and men start climbing on their shoulders.
So what happened when you catch a cramp? Like a Charlie horse. Catch that Charlie horse. What then? Nah. You be like, hey man, or Mother Nature just hit you out the blue. What you gonna do? Do you got a sub in? Somebody standing there ready to come sub out? No.
To build the trunk that consists of up to 10 identical levels. They use the sash that every member carries around their waist to hold on to. Once the tower has reached its desired height, 4 children climb up to complete the upper knob. The last one goes all the way. The child chosen for this role is usually the smallest and lightest, and also the one it's celebrated the most after he or she greets the audience with a short wave from the top of the castle. But only after everyone has made it to the ground in the right order and without falling, because only then is the tower finished successfully. Number 8. All hail the Pumpkin King. As part of the autumn season celebration, caretakers at the Oregon Zoo set out a giant pumpkin for Dozer, the African spurred tortoise, to crack open and enjoy, while he happily did. The African spurred tortoise is a species of tortoise inhabiting the southern edge of the Sahara Desert in Africa. It's the 3rd largest species of tortoise in the world. But more importantly, have you ever wondered if tortoises have teeth? Tortoises don't have teeth. Instead, they have beaks, just like birds, and they use those beaks to bite chunks of food, like this pumpkin. Unlike most animals with teeth, tortoises don't need to chew their food too much, so they just bite small bites, then they just swallow them without any effort. But as you might have expected, not all tortoise beaks are the same. Some of them have pointy, sharp beaks. Others have...
Something wrong with me, man. Got people get like they eat a lot, and you talking about you got the meat sweats. Yeah, I'm tripping.
A saw-like beak, and others have their mouths full of spikes. Still, the tortoise in the video was very successful at eating this pumpkin. Tortoises are one of the most adaptive species on Earth, so it's not hard to imagine that based on their diet, they manage to adjust the shape of their beaks to better suit their needs. But Dozer the tortoise is more than happy with his pumpkin feast, and he makes quick work of chowing down on it. Number 7. Perfect paper plane landing. This is one of those perfect moments where randomly a paper airplane lands perfectly on a streetcar after being tossed from the patio many floors up. But what's up with paper airplanes anyway? Humans dreamed of flight long before they put humans in the air. Back in the early 1500s, Leonardo da Vinci had designed a man-powered flying machine. Mathematician Architas of Tarentum reportedly created a mechanical wooden dove that flew for hundreds of feet in 250 BCE. So paper airplanes flying from the hands of children during the Civil World War era aren't that surprising. Some credit the Chinese with the creation of the first paper airplane over 2,000 years ago. Others state that Da Vinci invented them while he was working on the designs for his ornithopter. He was entranced by the idea of human flight, and it would be logical that he would play with paper to create an aircraft. However, the modern paper airplane we know and love was designed by Jack Northrop, co-founder of the Lockheed Aircraft Corporation in the early 1930s. When the term paper airplane first appeared, the toy it referred to looked more like birds than the aircraft that eventually lifted off the ground. It wasn't until the 1950s and 60s that airplanes finally looked like the paper toys we know now. Number 6. Chimp reunion. Lambani is a lovable, insta-famous chimpanzee with hundreds of thousands of followers online. He currently lives at the Zoological Wildlife Foundation in Miami. The foundation was created to educate the public on rare and endangered animals like this. This chimp was initially rejected by his mother as a baby after being born with pneumonia. Tanya and Jorge Sanchez became his caretakers during his first few months. Then he was handed off to the Wildlife Foundation. The couple clearly left an impression on Lambani, who
Still, man, I still haven't recovered from that Chimp story of where he killed that lady and tore her face off. So seeing this kind of makes me cringe a little bit.
has never forgotten his human handlers. They can go without seeing him for a couple of months, and his reaction is always the same. And cameras captured what a Lambani reunion looks like. The chimpanzee was outside when Tanya and Jorge had just arrived. He couldn't contain his excitement. He made joyful grunting noises as he ran straight into her arms. After hugging her, he leaped from the ground and went in for a hug with Jorge. He's currently 40 to 45 pounds, but will grow to 90 to 100 pounds as he reaches adulthood. He just passed his 4th birthday and may live as long as 60 to 70 years. Years may pass, but the love is always there. Number 5. Champagne ballerina. Marie Taglioni became an icon of ballet when she performed the first ever on point in 1832. Back then, point technique did not yet exist, and her performance became a revolutionary turning point for the world of ballet. People started to take notice, and audience
Every time they go up on their tiptoes, I cringe because I remember that story. They talk about how bad their feet are over time from doing that so much. I just cringe every time I see them do it.
were left in awe with the effect of the on point that was performed with such grace and weightlessness that it seemed as if she was floating. And this ballet all-star is no exception. Watch her stand on her toes on top of a bottle of champagne. Ashley Montague and her partner Richard Hanks are classical ballet dancers turned world record-holding circus performers and Cirque du Soleil alumna. They specialize in acrobatic ballet, hand-to-hand, aerial, and bottle walking acts like this. The couple has performed across the globe together for television, film, commercials, print, and events. The point technique is employed to make ballerinas appear light and dainty in their movements.
Wow.
As the point technique gained popularity, dancers in ballet schools started experimenting with dancing shoes that could protect and also enhance the feet's ability to dance on point. But the level of balance it requires to perform this trick is really on point. Number 4. Balcony fishing. Hey, when you gotta go fishing, sometimes you don't even need to leave your apartment. Check out this guy taking out his fishing rod, casting his line from his patio many floors up, and incredibly snagging a fish. To be honest, it's unclear where this fishing clip was filmed, but it appears to be a major city with a small river running through it, right past this person's apartment building. So perhaps for a laugh, he decided to try it out. And would you believe it? He actually catches a small fish. That's one heck of a long fishing line, we've got to say. And what did he use for bait? Surely that's an important detail. Researchers think that when humans first began fishing, they caught a meal with their hands and with nets.
I'm just not believing that. I'm not believing that. Are you serious? I'm like the other dude on the video. How much line he got on that? Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
But there's only so much fish you can catch that way. Along came the fishing hook, and the oldest fish hooks ever discovered were made of sea snail shells and thought to be about 23,000
That's lazy fishing at its finest, you hear me?
years old. An early fishing rod was a simple wooden pole that had a line tied to the end of it. They were used by early civilizations, such as in ancient Egypt and China. As for this clever fisherman, he's less concerned about the history of fishing in this clip. He only wants to hook a fish by any means necessary and not leave his flat. Number 3. Real-life magic carpet ride. Aladdin is a Middle Eastern folktale. It's one of the best-known tales associated with the Book of 1001 Nights or the Arabian Nights. A video clip of a young man dressed in a costume that mimics the famous character Aladdin flying in the streets of Dubai on his magic carpet sparked the curiosity of many to know his identity. In an apparent Halloween stunt, this video from a content creator shows him skimming the waves and riding through parts of Dubai in a full Aladdin getup. According to his IG caption, the idea was in the making for nearly 8 months. The young man, who has later discovered that he's an American YouTuber, said in media statements that the idea came to him to use an electric skateboard covered by a carpet to look like a magic carpet. He had contacted one of his friends, who specializes in fashion design, in order to create a costume similar to Aladdin. His skateboard was electronic and remote controlled. The American residing in Dubai said that he had chosen
Smart, film it. There you go.
in the gold souk area because it's the largest gold market in the world and that it attracts tourists and many owners of international brands. Number 2. Monster truck tricks. You have to see this monster truck double bounce backflip and then perform a moonwalk backward. Can you believe they can get these machines to backflip? How do people learn to drive like this? A monster truck is a specialized truck with a heavy-duty suspension, 4-wheel steering, and oversized tires constructed for competition and entertainment uses. Originally created by modifying stock pickup trucks and sport utility vehicles, they've evolved into purpose-built vehicles with tube-frame chassis and fiberglass bodies rather than metal, typically 12 feet tall and equipped with 66-inch off-road tires. Crazy, right? In the late 1970s, heavily modified pickup trucks were becoming popular, but it came into the public eye in the early 1980s as side acts at popular motocross, tractor pulling, and mud bogging events where they were used in car-crushing demonstrations. Today, they're usually the main attraction. How can they not be when you get to see stuff like this?
That's fire.
Monster truck shows typically have 2 main events, a race and a freestyle stunt driving competition, a performance consisting of stunts such as obstacle jumps, backflips, wheelies, and donuts. Number 1. Surf's Up. This group of friends has a fun day on a lake using items from thrift shops and wakeboarding behind the boat. And they're not alone. After professional skimboarder Austin Keene bought a coffee table at Goodwill for $9, he flipped it upside down and wake surfed on it too. Wakeboarding is a water sport in which the rider
I don't even want to know how he came up with that idea. We know how he came up with it. We ain't got to say it. We all know though.
standing on a short board is towed behind a motorboat across its wake and especially up off the crest in order to perform aerial maneuvers. It was developed from a combination of water skiing, snowboarding, and surfing techniques. The rider is usually towed by a rope behind a boat, but can also be towed by cable systems and winches and be pulled by other motorized vehicles like personal watercraft, cars, trucks, and all-terrain vehicles. The gear and wakeboard boat used are often personalized to each rider's liking, and in this case, everyday furniture will do. Though natural watercourses such as rivers, lakes, and areas of open water are generally used in wakeboarding, it's possible to wakeboard in unconventional locations, such as flooded roads and car parks, using a car as the towing vehicle. Waterboarding is done for pleasure and competition, ranging from freestyle wakeboarding and wakeboard parks to wakeboard competitions. See? Good thing the cameras were rolling in these.
No, my folks would have told. I know he ain't got my good furniture out there on the water talking about he wakeboarding. Yo, my folks would have killed me, you feel it, man? And then when I got older, I'd have said, I ain't taking my good furniture out there. Y'all gonna donate me some furniture? Yeah, how do you just, what makes you, I know what makes you think of that stuff. All right. Y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought of this video, man. And stick around and stay tuned till the next reaction. I'm gone. Peace.